What's up, guys? I am back. So, yeah, I'm not going to explain why I was gone, but I was thinking about quitting, so, yeah. Well, I'm starting 2 new series, book reviews and movie reviews. This is a book review. This is a spoiler book review, just so you guys know. For this series, I'm going to be reading all my Stephen King books in order. I don't have all of them, but I'm going to read them in order of how they went, and a day after I finish them, I'm going to do a little book review. Now, as you can see, we have a collection here. These are Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. I'll do book reviews on those, I guess. But I have a bunch of them in order, as you can see. Now this is on his first book ever written, not published. His first book is this, Carrie. Yeah, so I'm in school and I've been reading this book, The Long Walk. This book is fantastic, okay? Stephen King said his book Pet Sematary was the most darkest book. This book is way darker. Because think about Hunger Games, except they choose to do what they do. The Long Walk is about 400 teenage boys. No, 100, not 400, sorry. They're walking. There's no finish line. They're just walking until one of them is still in the game. So, and if they win, they get whatever they want for the rest of their life. And it's called the prize. And if you get 3 warnings, after you get 3 warnings, you get your ticket. And your ticket is you getting shot in the head by military men. Now, so the Long Walk is a sport in this world. Yeah, it's kind of like the Running Man, which is the book I'll review next. And I started today. But yeah, the story, it follows this boy named Garrity, and he so his mom's like, don't do this. You can just step back now. But he's like, no, I have to do this. And on the way, he meets friends like Olsen, McBride, Baker, Harkness, Abraham, Pearson, Parker, and a couple other guys. And he meets a couple enemies too, like Stebbins and Barkovich. And Stebbins, he has like an obsession with him because he just doesn't understand why. But Stebbins is actually the major who hosts the Long Walk. He's actually his son. And Barkovich, nobody likes him. He's in there just to see people die, basically. So he's like, oh, I'll dance on their graves and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of messed up. But the book is really gruesome, and they're coming out with the movie soon, and I can't wait, because this book, first book he ever written as Richard Bachman, it needs a movie. Like there's a bunch of other books that deserve movies, but and I'll tell you about the end. So it ends up being 6 guys left, and they're all insane except for Stebbins. Well, he's kind of crazy, but and so they're walking and the crowd's cheering them on, and Garrity, he doesn't care about the people he loves anymore. He just sees them as rag dolls. And when he wins, he doesn't. He's insane. He sees a dark figure, like up in front, and he's like, "Who have I not walked down yet?" And so he keeps on walking when he could have stopped. And now this book, I'm actually gonna get a more comfortable place. Actually, now this book is very gruesome, and most of the scenes, like, there's scenes where people are taking craps and dying at the same time, and it's like, you have to sleep while you're walking, you have to crap while you're walking, you have to pee while you're walking. That's, yeah, and it ends up, they walk for like 5 days, but that doesn't seem like much, but non-stop. That's a long time. But some of the scenes that really are kind of messed up, Olson's death, one of Garrity's friends, he basically became a walking dead man. He had no emotions and he kept on walking. Garrity goes up to him, taps on his shoulder and says his name. He looks at him and he starts rambling on about God's garden and how Jesus will save him. And then he runs to the half track that the military men are standing on. He grabs one of their guns and yoit! And this, they shoot. Usually they shoot them in the head. They shot him in the stomach. The stomach. And he just goes up back on walking when he has like his guts are falling. He's like going to pick him up and stuff. Like, ew. That's, come on, King. That's a little bit extreme now. But yeah. So, and there's also some sad scenes, but Barkovich's death. He went crazy too. Garrity kind of felt bad for him, but he started crying for some reason, and I think they were saying stuff to him, how he's a jerk and stuff, so he started crying, and everybody was like, what are you gonna do, cry to your mommy? Or are you gonna leave the road and cry to your mommy? And then he's like, I'll dance on your graves. Like, something he said, but his voice was really high pitched. And he puts his hands to his throat and rips out his own throat. Like, he's dead. But they shoot him anyway, Because double tap, man. Double tap. And there's also a couple sad scenes. Baker's death. Oh, that was something. So he had, I believe, a hemorrhage in his nose. So he started bleeding so much uncontrollably, like blood was down to like here. And he puts his hand on Garrity's shoulder and says, I'm gonna die now. And he's like, alright then. And he's like, and then Garrity says to him, he starts crying and he's like, just walk a little longer. Just walk a little longer. And he says, I can't. And so he tells them, he asks him to win. And then he tells him to don't look. And he doesn't look. And he gets shot. Yeah, I was reading that in class and I almost cried. Pretty sad. Then McFry's death. McFry's death really wasn't all that special. he fell asleep, like in a deep sleep, not a doze, and he walked into the crowd. So, yeah, I think this book everybody should read. I think they should have made a movie in when it was published. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So I'll probably do my next video in a month, because that's usually how long it takes me to read these books. And so I'm gonna put this book in the shelf of the books that I've already read in the order. Then the next book that I'll read, which I already started, the Bachman books. The Long Walk's also in here, but I'm reading it for the road work and Running Man. So yeah, that is it. But first, before I quit the video, I want to talk about how, they're doing remakes of Stephen King movies. They should do, they have so many more stories that haven't had movies yet. I know they made a movie about this, but it took them so long to make a movie about the Dark Tower. Eyes of the Dragon, Insomnia, The Girl About Tom Horton, From a Buick Gate, and Doohickey. So, yeah, they have books that they could do movies on, but I don't know why they're not doing it. I did hear they're making a movie about this. It's a newer book, but yeah. Right after this, I'm going to film another video, just my collection of Stephen King books, just so you know what's in the lineup. Alright guys, see ya.